Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're doing a plan with me. So I took this idea from Jenna Hong, and I know like there's a bunch of other plan with me videos on YouTube. I'm someone that loves to plan and set goals for myself, and I thought it would be a great way to share ideas with you and also hold myself accountable because I am putting it on the internet. So I'm probably gonna make a follow-up video at the end of the month to see how I'm keeping up with these goals. I also really like the monthly format of it all because I did set goals for my 2026, but I think it's a great way to just check in and make sure that I'm actually making steps toward my goals every month. So I'm going to start with a bit of context about myself. So I work a 9 to 5 and I currently work in tech, but in a non-technical role. And in the future, I would like to work in a more technical role, to use coding and to be more into like the systems. I'm also a 20-something that is trying to keep my social life alive while also doing all of my hobbies like writing, doing pottery, and content creation like this video right now. And I'm also trying to be a bit more active. I'm someone that works from home most of the time, so it's really important for me to start moving my body more because I just don't have the opportunity as much as when I used to work in person. So hopefully this context is enough to understand my goals better. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at my resolutions for 2026 and see how I actually showed up for them. For me, resolutions are kind of more like general statements. They're not like strict goals. I also do have a goal section that we're going to go over later, but it's more of a mindset of how I want to approach the year. So my first resolution for 2026 was discipline. I wanted to be more disciplined. And I think I was able to do that by actually posting videos, long-form videos on YouTube, actually editing. And also, like I mentioned earlier, I do want to be more active. And I think I found like great ways for myself to stay active and be disciplined with showing up to these activities that I signed up for instead of canceling and paying the $12 cancellation fee on ClassPass. The other goal that I had for myself was going the extra mile. I'm someone that loves being a work smarter, not harder person. And while I do still believe in this mentality, I think for certain things, I do need to go ahead and work a bit harder. But however, I don't think the past month I really went the extra mile with anything. If anything, I just like made myself really busy. My next resolution was to visualize. That's exactly how I wrote it in my journal. And that's because right now I feel like I have goals that are really non-traditional. I mean, doing YouTube, there's so many YouTubers out there, so maybe it feels like really normalized, but if you think about it, right now I'm really like in the grind time of my YouTube where like there's not that many people watching, I don't have that many subscribers, but I still need to show up as if I have 10,000 subscribers, or at least try to, because I'm still in the grind phase, as I said. So that's something that I really wanted to do, and just to keep visualizing like, okay, like it's starting like this and nothing is really guaranteed. The results are not really guaranteed, but let's visualize a world when the results are guaranteed. And I think that just even by filming all these videos, by posting, by editing, I am visualizing and I feel like I'm walking towards the actual vision that I have for myself. My next resolution for 2026 was to stay authentic. So one of the reasons I wrote down that goal is because I'm someone that grew up really shy, and I feel like there was a lot of myself that I was kind of like hiding from other people until like a very long time, until I got really comfortable. And while I feel like that worked better in school because I would see the same people all the time, right? So eventually like I would get out of my shell. In adulthood, you kind of have a one chance to like meet people and to show up as your true self and to connect. I mean, that's not always the case. Some places like you can go over and over again and you'll slowly like build connection with people, but a lot of the time we mostly have opportunities for almost instant connections. So that's something I really want to do, to stay more authentic, to show up as myself a bit more. And it's not even like in a way that like I'm being fake, it's more of in a way that I'm erasing a bit of myself when meeting other people. And I think that's something that I've been doing a lot this year, staying authentic, really showing up as myself. Of course, it's never going to get to the level of the way I speak to my friends that I've known for 10 years, but at least I feel like people should be able to understand me, or at least have a good idea of who I am meeting me the first time. And my last resolution was to actually move my body, and we're gonna have more on that later in the goals for 2026. So overall, I think I'm doing pretty well for my resolutions. Going the extra mile has not been going excellent, but that's something I can still work on. And also I feel like I need actual opportunities to go the extra miles and to prove to myself that I'm actually realizing that goal. All right, so now we're going to go over my goals. My goals are a bit more concrete, a bit more quantitative, so I'm gonna go over them and I'm gonna see either if they're going well, need work, or if they haven't started at all, because that's also possible. Let's start with the first goal. Have at least just 2 consistent physical activities to stay in shape. I would say this is going well. This is actually going really well. My original plan was to do salsa once a week and Pilates once a week, but now I've done salsa and bachata, and I've also tried to do Pilates twice a week, which it happened on some week, but honestly, like, I think it happened maybe half of last month, and then the other half I only did once a week. And I also started going on the elliptical because I found that I really needed to work out my cardio. Like, I was running to the metro and I was so exhausted all the time, and I was like, this is not normal. I'm only 25, like, why am I exhausted running short distances like this? So I honestly feel like I've found great ways to stay consistent, so I'm gonna write going well. My next goal was to go on a trip to a place with mountains and a road trip. So mind you, that's the goal for the year. So obviously that's not something that I can do every month. I do also have a limited amount of money. However, I would say this goal is going well because I'm starting to plan my trips. Hopefully I'll be going in Italy in the fall, and I'm also planning a trip to Gaspésie with my friends in the summer. Hopefully both work out. I'm actively trying to plan it, and I'm also actively trying to save for it. So I would write going well for this because I haven't forgotten them or put them in the back burner. And there's actually like a high chance that I'm going to be able to do these. Alright, so my next goal for 2026 was to bike longer distances this year. So I live in Montreal, and in the summer I really like using Bixi, so like our community city bikes. I think it's so convenient. It gets me places where the metro doesn't get me faster. I really do like using electric Bixi where you barely have to do any work, but sometimes there's no electric Bixi left, especially when the SM goes on strike, and I just need to get on a bike that's gonna get me to my location and not get to my location full of sweat and out of breath. Hence also another reason why I'm starting to do cardio. However, I just started doing cardio maybe like the last week or last 2 weeks of February, so I put needs work because I do want to be more consistent in the month of March with my cardio. Okay, so another goal for my 2026, honestly when I saw that goal again, I was like, what? It's a super normal goal. I just feel like it's so random, but it was to get at least 5 cool vintage pieces I can wear regularly. And I know I put down this goal because I have this one friend that shop vintage, and I feel like she always has the best outfit. Like, everything just looks so good on her, and it's just not something that you can find at H&M, which is a store I really enjoy going to, but I just want a bit more creativity in my wardrobe. So this one I would say is going well. I actually went thrifting like 3 times maybe last month, and I feel like I was able to find a few good pieces. And honestly, like 5 is kind of an easy goal now that I look back on it, but also I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money on clothes like I usually do, so maybe 5 was like a sensible goal. So that one I put going well because I'm basically done with that goal now. So the next goal I had for myself was to finish writing a first draft. So I'm a writer, a hobby writer. I'm not really published, but I've been writing ever since I was younger, and that's just something that I really want to try to put more effort in now that I'm an adult. So I put as a goal for this year to write a first draft, so finish a novel completely. This one, however, definitely needs work. Definitely wrote during the last month, but I definitely feel like I can do way better. So that's something we're gonna have to work on. And my other goal was to read 5 books. I know 5 books doesn't seem like a lot, but honestly, I didn't want to give myself like a crazy goal because I feel like I already had like a lot of crazy goals for this year, and I just felt like adding like I need to read 20 books this year, which is going to be way too much for me, and I was going to get overwhelmed. So I started with 5 books. However, this goal status is not started because, well, technically if you count all the books that I started and closed, it would be started, but I haven't really like got into a book yet. So I'm still looking for the book that's gonna make me go back into my reading spirit, and it's only 5 books, so I probably have time during the year to read all of them, so I'm not too stressed about this one. But yeah, it's not started for now. So my next goal is to learn how to code for cybersecurity. Like I said earlier, I'm in a non-technical role in tech right now, which means I don't need to understand how computers work. I don't really need to understand how systems work. I mean, I need like a minimum understanding because I am working on an application, but I don't really need to go into depth in it. However, every time I hear the technical people speak, I'm like, oh my god, like I want to be in that conversation and I want to actually understand what they're talking about. And also the field of cybersecurity just sounds really interesting to me. So it's not super similar to like coding an application, but there's still a lot of security involved too with that. So that's something I want to do. However, I feel like it needs work. I feel like in January I was a lot better with studying and like getting myself up for it, but in February I got like so busy. I'm posting a vlog soon, so subscribe if you want to see that vlog. Yeah, you're gonna kind of see what I mean, because I feel like February, honestly, most of my weeks kind of look like that. And in March, I think I'm actually just gonna need to like block out a time slot where I can just study cybersecurity and advance a little bit. I was also able to get into a more formal program for cybersecurity that's gonna start in the fall. So that's also another reason why I feel like my learning cybersecurity journey has kind of taken a step back, because I'm like, well, I don't need to like learn it all now, because in the fall I'm going to be able to actually dedicate myself to it. Also, like, I don't want to postpone that goal for too long, because there's still so many opportunities that I could get if I start learning it earlier. So now we're down to like 2 other goals. So my next goal that I had was to post a long form video twice a month, and this one I've actually done. I mean, I posted my outfit video. The outfit videos, I feel like they take so long to film, but then like to edit is pretty quick, and to post is even quicker because it's only like 3 to 4 minutes video, and it's usually just like a lookbook. But I was able to post it. So I posted this talking video reflection on how I feel entering my late 20s, and now I'm preparing to enter my late 20s, and I'm trying to build some habits. That one I'm putting going well because I'm actually doing it. And finally, my last goal was to post on Instagram. Not on my personal Instagram, because I do post on, actually that's not even true, I barely post on my personal Instagram, but I do like post some stories on there whenever I'm doing something and I think it's aesthetic, and I'm like, everyone look at what I'm doing. But I also really wanted to make like a separate Instagram account, and I think like I just had a really hard time with Instagram because I couldn't really feel something that made me want to show up. I kind of tried at the beginning of the year to be like, honestly looking back, I don't even know what the concept was. I guess it was like a clothing slash 20/life advice, which is kind of like the same concept as my YouTube, but for short form content. For some reason I just couldn't I couldn't get into it. Like, I feel like these type of lifestyle videos, they just work better for me in long form format, where I can actually like talk for a long time about my thought process and my reflections and try to exchange, while in short form it's like, even if it's a vertical video, if it's 10 minutes long, is it really short form content? I don't think so. I don't think it is. But last month I joined a pottery studio as a member, and I also feel like I want to talk more about pottery on my YouTube channel, but that's just not what my YouTube channel is really about. And I was like, well, what else can I talk about pottery? Instagram. So I made this Instagram account for my pottery channel. If anyone is watching and they kind of like pottery, or if they want to get into pottery, you can go follow. But this one I still put needs for it because I had the idea when I joined the studio. I created the page, and then for like a whole 2 weeks I didn't post anything on it, and I finally ended up posting like last week, which was the last week of February, and I posted again this week. So that's definitely something that I need to work on and be more consistent on. But I definitely feel like I'm finding my voice a lot better with the pottery Instagram account, rather than when I was trying to be like a lifestyle influencer on Instagram, because it wasn't me. It just wasn't me. So now we're gonna go over to another section. I think it's never too late to add new goals to your year, right? I just feel like the new year is just like kind of a perfect cutoff to really reflect on what happened in the last year and to look forward to the next year, right? It's in our calendar, like our brain can comprehend it better. However, even during the year, like you might get some new ideas and you're like, wait, I really want to do this. So that's why I'm adding new goals. One of the new goal that I'm adding is to track my finances. So I met up with my friends for brunch, and one of my friends, like, she's such like a budget girly. Like, she loves budgeting, she likes saving money. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, as we all should. But I feel like she's just really on it. Like, she has trackers and she has like apps where like you can upload receipts and get some money from it. Every time I meet with her, I feel like I get new budgeting ideas. And when I met her recently, she shared with me like this Excel sheet that she has where she tracks like all of her expenses, and she even has like a little diagram to see like where most of her money is going to as she's tracking her investment. And I'm too lazy to make the Excel sheet, so my friend kindly shared it with me. I feel like while I'm still able to save at the end of the month, sometimes I'm like, okay, like I'm able to save, but I feel like I could save more. Like, where did all my money go? And I just feel like that's something I need to get into more. Another goal that I added, so that was more of a long-term goal, but I wanted to explore UGC. So that's user-generated content. I actually got my bachelor in marketing, and while right now I'm working in tech, I still feel like marketing is such like an interesting field. I just prefer working in tech for now. But for like freelancing purposes, I think it would be really cool to explore UGC. I feel like I see so many UGC creators on social media, and then some of them share like astronomical amount of money, which I don't think I would be able to make that. I mean, maybe like eventually. I just think like it takes, like, that's their full-time job, right? I'm looking more for like a side income type of situation. I just feel like so many people with UGC, like they're just like, oh, like it's kind of a scam, it's kind of a pyramid scheme. And I'm just trying to find out, like, is it a pyramid scheme? Do people actually like make a side income from it? Am I actually going to be able to use these editing skills, these marketing skills that I've gained throughout the year, or is it just going to be a waste of time? So that's why I put explore UGC as a goal and not do UGC because I still need to figure out like what's up with this field, like what's going on there. And the other goal that I put down was to prioritize free time. Like I said earlier, my February was packed and I feel like a lot of my next month are gonna look like this, and I just need to start prioritizing having more free time. At the end of the day, like while I do love going out and seeing my friends, I'm still an introvert. I really don't think the marketing for introvert is true, and hear me out for this. I mean, I'm saying this as someone who did like the MIGS burgers or whatever that is like test, and I got like 61% introvert and like 40% extrovert. So I'm really like just a social introvert, but I still feel like introvert just means I need to recharge on my own. It doesn't mean I hate people. It means maybe they drain my energy quicker, but I still do feel energized when I see people. Maybe I'm an extrovert, maybe I'm an ambivert, or maybe I just need to get free time. We'll see this month. Overall, I feel like I'm pretty proud of my month. I feel like there's only like a few things that still need work, so that's good to see. Well, some of the things did need work after all, so let's see what we're gonna do next month. So my first goal for next month is to block off at least one evening a week to do nothing, which I know sounds so easy, but I don't know, I just love signing up for a good activity and then I'm still trying to have a social life, and suddenly I look at my weeks and I have something like every single day. So for this month, I really want one evening a week where I'm not doing anything. I'm not going out to an activity I signed up for, I'm not seeing friends, I'm not even editing a video. Like I'm really just doing nothing, and doing nothing could be like reading. Maybe it's gonna help my reading goal as well. It could also be like playing The Sims 3 on my Mac or watching a movie, just like a time where I can just like decompress, and I'll try to work my brain for like social purposes or even just like to learn something new or to work on something, like just a free evening once a week. That's my goal for next month. So my other goal for next month is to go on the elliptical machine twice a week. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but since I'm already doing dancing and Pilates, I feel like 2 times a week on the elliptical is pretty realistic. I also do have a gym in my building, so it makes it a lot easier for me to just go for like a 20 minutes and then just go back to my apartment. Like there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do this at least twice a week, and hopefully I don't find any reasons why I can't do it next month. And my next goal is gonna go along with my goal that I just added for this year, is to track my expenses at least once a week. So I'm trying to fill out the form here and there every day, but I want to make it so that at least once a week I have an updated sheet of how much I've actually spent for the month so far. And honestly, it's gonna aid my other goals because I do want to go on like a road trip and a trip to somewhere with mountains, so I need to save that money to go on that trip. Like I'm not at the stage of getting paid to go on trips yet. For now, I'm paying myself to go on trips and enjoying them. I'm so grateful. I think it's such a privilege, but we need to actually, you know, put some things on so that we can actually work on them. My next goal, that one is really just for this month, but it's to finalize my vacation days for the summer at least. I'm probably gonna leave in July for the road trip, and I just need to like make it make sense because I actually want to make it happen, and I also want to book my friends that I'm going on the road trip with before they start making other plans or suddenly they can't take off at work or they have something. I need to lock it down. And my next goal for this month, which is actually a really important goal, is to write at least 10,000 words for the story that I'm working on right now. I feel like I've been slacking last month and I just need to like get those chapters. I need to get those words, and it's so funny for this story because I know exactly how it's gonna go from beginning to end. I mean, sometimes while I'm writing stories, like some things do deviate, right? Like maybe some things I'll delete or some things I'll just like totally change, but yet like I'm sitting there and I have like white page syndrome. I don't know if that's something you can say in English. Blank page syndrome, probably. But yeah, and I have that and I'm just sitting there in front of my computer, although I know from beginning to end how the story is supposed to go. So 10,000 words for this month. We'll see in April how that went, but hopefully I'll be able to do it. Then another goal I want to do this month is to post at least 2 short form videos on my Pottery Instagram. I think it's gonna be a lot easier to do because I'm paying for that membership, so obviously I'm gonna be at the pottery studio a lot, so it's gonna be pretty easy to get content out of it. Hopefully. I'm saying this, I hope I'm not jinxing myself. And my last goal for this month, which is also to improve something that needs work, is to spend 2 hours a week at the minimum studying cybersecurity. And I know 2 hours doesn't seem like a lot, but like I said, I did get into a program next fall, so I don't feel like I need to be spending 10 hours a week on it. I don't think I'm still at the phase where I'm like, oh my god, I hate my job, I need to change careers like yesterday, like I'm already behind, like let me go. I'm still pretty satisfied with my job, and I still do feel like I get exposed to a lot of like technical content context, I guess, because I work really closely with like the developers, the tech leads and everything. So even if sometimes I don't really understand what they're saying, like they can always explain it to me. So I feel like I'm lucky enough to also get exposure in that way. All right, so that was it for today's video. I hope it gave you a better idea of how you might want to plan for your month. And also let me know what your goals are in the comment for this month. Maybe we can like share it and hold each other accountable for it. I also feel like this video was more like an overview and maybe not like as detailed with a calendar. But if you've seen my how to plan for 2026 video, I'm a very like, let's keep it more general person, because whenever I have goals that are like day by day, I miss one day and I don't want to do it the next day, and then I miss the next day, and then I'm like, okay, I have like 3 days to catch up on because I'm behind by like 3 days, and all these goals that I've like set up for every single day of the month. Well, at the end, I usually end up with nothing, or maybe like 10% of what I wanted to do, which is why I like to keep my planning really general, but at least it helps me have a vision for what I'm trying to do. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful to you. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe because I'm definitely going to be doing more of these. I think they're really useful for myself, and I'm hoping that other people also find it useful. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely March and that you're also able to realize all of your goals. Bye!